Good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It's the 13th day of March, the year 2023. We shall be having three conversations around sport. At the tail end will be personal fitness. We'll be talking about the Defense Pistol Association Championships for Africa, and also on this set, this is not an ordinary chess board. These are not ordinary chess pieces. These are pieces that are used by visually impaired chess players. You can imagine, yes, I know you're asking, chess for the blind? We shall be talking about that, and that's a conversation that we are going to have. But also remember that we've got our team that is out there covering all the news that is happening. We've got committee meetings that are going to be happening in Parliament, and then there is the handover of agricultural aircraft for desert locust control. So this is happening also today. And also remember that also we've got PS Trade and Industry Abubakar Hassan, who's addressing the Kenya and Malaysia Business Forum in Westlands. Those are part of the stories that we will be covering today in our news outlook. So, and as the stories develop all across the country, we shall be keeping you updated on them. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mwaura. Our Twitter handle is at KBC Channel 1. Mine is at Mr. Wahome, and the hashtag is Sports Check. Straight into our first sporting conversation. And in studio with me, I have got two gentlemen. One's a coach, the other one's a player. On my immediate left, we have got Wycliffe Nyagah. Wycliffe, welcome to KBC Channel 1.
Thank you.
Well, Wycliffe is visually impaired, but on his just right in front of him, he has got a chessboard and he plays chess. He's visually impaired, plays chess. And his coach is on my extreme left, Harrison Nyagah. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Coach, before, and you could tell us about how the Kenyan Chess Federation brought out the aspect of having this sport for visually impaired people like Wycliffe.
I'm Harrison. I'm a chess coach. Chess Kenya Federation started a project for chess for inclusivity, that is in 2019, by the president, Mr. Wanjala, who is open-minded in inclusive sport. So he brought up this kind of chess. Getting it like in Africa is so difficult for us to have players with disability. So he came up with the idea that we need to be inclusive, and it is the most actually inclusive sports we have in the world, inclusive for persons with disability. So it was anchored in the law of the previous constitution that was passed in 2022, that now persons with disability are playing chess not out of the masses of the organizers, but as a right.
Okay, now you mentioned about a braille chess board.
Yes.
Just describe that for me before I come to Wycliffe and he tells us about, and he can actually, help us, see the board so that the differences can be seen.
So the chess set, the braille chess set, it is a bit different from the normal chess set. The black squares are raised with about 3 to 4 inches or 3 to 4 mm. So we have
maybe Wycliffe, you can lift the board and turn it so that they can see. Yes, hold it that way so that at least they can see the differences. Wycliffe has got that board and you can see the difference in the rays.
So therefore, when a person with visual impairment is touches through the board, he can recognize the raised squares, which are the black squares, and the lowered squares, which are the white squares. For the pieces, they are of different colors, but for the black one, they have a sharp tip at the top. So when you feel it, if you feel this piece, they look the same, they have the same thing, but at the top, there is the sharpness. So the sharpness is for you are going to recognize that that's a black piece. So when it's just
actually
smooth,
it's true, because I'm looking at this knife. This one has what I would call horns. This other one is
just flat.
It's just flat. It's been pulled.
Yes. So that's how they recognize the board.
Wow, interesting. Now let me come to you, Wycliffe.
Yes.
How did you get into these sports?
My name is Wycliffe Ndiki. I'm a student, second year, University of Nairobi, doing Bachelor of Commerce. I joined chess in the
which area of commerce are you studying?
I've not yet specialized.
Okay, second year.
I'm a second year.
So you want to, where would you like to specialize?
Human resource.
Aha,
Yes.
great.
Okay, I joined chess in the year 2021, December. I was introduced by a coach called Dadson Luamba. I was taken to Chess Kenya, where I met with Coach Harrison, who trains people with disability about the chess. Yes.
Aha. What was the first impression you had about playing this game?
My first impression was I was so interested because I like exploring things, and I found like chess is a very great game that I would explore. So I was so interested first.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that, there is, if I just pick up this board, because at least I know I can tilt it, the pieces won't fall, because there is something about the board. Maybe you could tilt it so that people see, is that there are little holes where you place the pieces inside.
Yes.
So you can see that. And the arrangement of a chessboard is standard. Maybe you could just display to us as, and get the white pieces and the black pieces into their places.
Yes.
And then you will tell us how you identify, the various square, how you identify all of those pieces on the boxes. And I mean on the squares. So please, you could arrange that board for us and tell us each piece as it comes.
So this board has 64 sections. We have black and white sections. The use of these holes is to hold the piece, because when I'm trying to see the move I've made, the reason for this hole is to make sure that I don't knock down the piece.
Yes.
It stays in its position. So we have pieces here. This is a white piece because it's smooth. So this is a pawn. So I will place it on the extreme left on the second row. So we have eight rows, 8 columns.
Yes.
So on the second row, the first column, second row. Then I will take, this is a knight.
How do you identify them, by touch? Because that's the interesting part.
So I was trained. Like when you check here, it's all about feeling. I can't explain.
It's because I know, I can see, so you feel the shape.
Yeah, I feel the shape. That's the first thing. When a coach comes and trains you, that's the first thing you are taught. The feeling of that piece.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So set up the board. I mean, as you tell us, with every piece, take your time with every piece as you do it.
So a knight comes to the first row, second column. Then this is a pawn, the white pawn. This is a queen. Yeah, it's a queen, so it will come to the fourth column, the first row. This is a king, a white king.
Just a little bit, because I want some people to say this, because I have these pieces. So let me just pull them out. The king and the queen.
Yes.
Something is interesting about these pieces if you just take a look at them. If I hold them out there, they look the same. But if you just take the feel of it, coach.
Yes.
Because before he continues, how are you able, I mean, this, to the ordinary, I mean, ideally it's just that the king is slightly taller than the queen.
Yes, and a bit bolder.
Yes.
But you find for the regular board, the king has a cross.
Yes.
So even you have to be very sensitive when you're training hearing impaired, that and telling them king has a cross, their king don't. So you must be kind of knowing the board. You must have the board first.
So ideally, a queen has a crown.
Yes.
And
the king has
a cross.
But in Braille chess, they are just different sizes. The king is bigger. It's like the king.
Amenona tu kidogo.
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue, Wycliffe.
So we'll continue. The pawn goes there. This is a white bishop. So we have 8 pawns, 2 bishops, 2 knights, 2 rooks, a king and a queen. So this is a rook.
Yes.
A white rook. This is a white knight. It goes here. This is a white pawn here. This is a black one, so we leave it for now. This is a white pawn. This is a black pawn. A white rook.
So the first row is done?
Almost
done.
Yeah.
One bishop.
Yes.
Yeah, there.
Oh, thanks, coach.
Near
yeah?
you.
So
Near you.
Yeah.
there, right there, where your left hand is. Okay, that's a black one.
This is a black king.
Just here.
Well,
Adjacent to where the king is, there, where your hand is.
Where you?
yeah.
You can also arrange the black ones as you do this.
Okay. So let's go to the black ones. That's a black pawn. A black king goes here. Yeah, there. This is a black pawn. A white pawn. A white bishop. A black rook. A black knight. A black queen. A black knight. Okay. A white pawn.
Yes.
Yeah, the queen was there. A black pawn. A black bishop. A black pawn. A black bishop. A black pawn. A black pawn. A white pawn. So the white side is full.
The two of them, yeah, 2 pawns.
So the pawn and the pawn. And we don't have one piece, the rook.
Oh, rolled on the floor.
Yes.
Coach, thanks.
Now
And
the board is complete.
The board is complete.
Yes.
Very good. Now, well done. Now you've seen him do it. Actually, when you should have seen him doing it just before he came on the set. You do it naturally, it has now become a part of you.
Yes.
Because I mean, the speed is quite quick. Coach, now, when you start teaching them the moves, the other thing is every row and column
Yes.
has a number
Yes.
Yes.
on this board. So when it comes to them, how you play and where you place them, how do you go about this?
The type of board that we have doesn't have the embossed writings about the alphabets and the numbers.
This is locally made.
Yes, but not here.
Not here?
Yeah.
See Upper Kenya?
No, no, no.
Okay.
So therefore, yeah, once you start just like practicing, they'll get into you that the A1 square is always a black square, and it is raised, and it is at the first on your left.
Okay.
So that's how you will just identify that. But before you get to that, what we do is actually trying to make you understand how to count by yourself.
Yes.
So it will be a big amount of work, but it will help you to master that chessboard, because that's where the home of pieces is. So that's how we go about it. Everything is not about how we see. You know, for us, regular people, we think like, if I can't see it, I can't visualize it most of the time. So for them is to create that picture from zero, other than what they see. So they can do it. Yeah, once with the just experience, they'll be able to know even the name of the square, because you can just count the number of rows, this ABCD, so this a certain square.
Wycliffe,
Yes.
now take us through, you know, your initial days in training and how you were able to identify, you know, the various positions on the board. Each of these squares, 64 of them.
Now, the initial days were a little bit hectic because I had to master, to visualize this board the way it is in my head for me to know how the pieces should move. Now, on this board, we have 8 rows and 8 columns.
Yes.
As I said before, they are called ranks. The rows are called ranks, and the columns are called files. So on the extreme right, where we have the white rook, it's called A1. So A1, B1, C1, up to H1. Then from here, we have A1, so 1, A1, moving this way, A2, A3, up to A8. Now when I know that there are 8 columns and 8 rows, I just have to visualize it for me to learn. Yes, because every blind person learns through touch.
Touch.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Now, it's the time we try to have a little game here, and there's something interesting about this. For Wycliffe to know whatever move you've made, Harrison, is that you must visually say the move that you have made.
Yes.
Now, what we're going to have now is actually a practical display of chess for the blind. Now, gentlemen, which board will you use?
You'll use his, because in chess, for the visually impaired, one board serves just one person.
Okay.
Not two, not like the regular one. So I'll just say the move,
Okay.
then
just pause, because this is interesting. So that means if I was to play against him, I would have to use this.
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, you are going to crumble in. Everybody is trying to visualize what the position is, because he has to keep on touching the pieces to recognize the position. So you find in our normal chess playing that you have so many rules that you cannot touch a piece if you are not moving with it. Doesn't apply to the visually impaired. So they have to use. So one board serves one person. If we are 30, we need 30 boards, not 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. How do you avoid crafty people? Si unajua kuna watu wanapenda kuchenga.
No. But once you just lift the piece, if you are visually impaired, then you say that you have to move with that piece, as long as that piece can legally move. But touching it, there's no problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's why now it gets interesting. And so, Coach and Wycliffe.
Yes.
Now, let us play a little bit of this chess. As usual, the white pieces go first, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You can.
He's got the white.
Yeah.
So Wycliffe,
Yes.
let's see a real demonstration of a chess game for the blind.
Okay, so I will start the game. We'll start with the pawn. I will move the pawn from. I will move the pawn E4.
Okay, something interesting, Coach.
Yes.
I have seen that whatever move he makes, you also do it on your board.
Yes.
Interesting. Play.
Otherwise, because I have my own board.
Yes.
And he has his own board, so I have to do it from my end, and he has to do it from his end as well.
All right. Your move now.
Okay. C5.
C5.
C5. So now Wycliffe has to pick C.
Which piece?
The pawn to C5.
Pawn to C5. From
the black side.
From C7 now to C5.
To C5.
Yes.
Okay. You can get the king in place. All right. Wycliffe now.
Yes. Knight F3.
So Harrison also has got to make that similar move, so that if there is somebody has to strike, then they've got to do that.
Yes.
Over to you, Harrison.
Knight C6.
Yes. Knight
C6.
The good thing about the knight is that the move is known.
Yes.
They can only move, I mean, yeah.
L shape.
The L-shape move.
Yes.
There you go. Right, it's Wycliffe, it's your turn.
It's my turn. Bishop. Bishop C4.
Harrison, can see you're already looking at something to hit. Is a piece you're looking for, you're hunting.
Pawn from G7 to G6.
All right, just make that
G7.
pawn.
G6.
Yes, from G7 to G6.
Okay, maybe coach, you could just be a little bit more audible so that at least.
Oh, pawn from G7 to G6.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Wycliffe?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's my turn. Pawn C. Yeah, C3.
Bishop G7.
Okay.
Bishop G7.
Bishop G7.
Bishop G7.
The other bishop.
Oh, the other bishop.
Yes. That one to G7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just come to that because you've helped him identify the piece that he was supposed to move.
Yes.
Ideally, you know, it's a visual. There's a format to the way every piece is known. For example, the rook, so long as it has the space,
It can move just straight.
it can move
along
just
the
straight.
files and across the ranks.
Yeah, rank and file.
Yes.
As long as there's the space. The bishop.
The knight.
Sorry, the knight. This is L-shaped.
Yes.
The
The bishop diagonal.
bishop is diagonal.
Yes.
So something, you've helped him identify which bishop it is. So the real way is, this is A,
Yes.
B, C, D, E, F. So am I really supposed to say F?
Bishop from F. Yeah.
F6.
Yes. Bishop to F6 because it went
Then diagonally. Then I
Yes.
say to G7.
Yes.
From where it comes, from where it was to where it goes.
So it depends because you find that we have other boards that are a bit modern, that they have the alphabets. One can feel the alphabet
In Braille.
in Braille. They are well embossed, but you can also assume, like if you say bishop to B7, so initially no other bishop can go to B7. So it's normally I can specify, or I cannot. I can fail also to specify which bishop goes to G7.
The other one I want to ask you, do you have boards with audio?
Yes, they are, because technology is evolving. Other countries are venturing into technology in chess and making it more accessible and disability friendly. So we have them like in audio, that once a regular player plays there, then he says the move. I can just listen in a tournament and then just make the move. If I make the move, then I can be told which move went.
Wycliffe?
Yes.
Now, getting into competition mode, you know, how do you, get to a point where you're telling somebody, hey, checkmate, check, trying to compete against each other and all of that? What's the competition scene here in Kenya?
I've not gone to many tournaments, but the ones that I've gone to, I've not challenged my fellow visually impaired students. I'm the people who are visually impaired. So I've been playing with people who are sighted. So I can say that the competition it's real. I can say that I've seen the real competition because I've not played with my fellow visually impaired person. Yes.
What about playing with people who are sighted? What has been their experience?
Sometimes I feel they are better because they are seeing the board better than me. They're using their sight and I'm feeling. I think if I played with a visually impaired person, it would be better than playing with a sighted one. Because I feel, first of all, I feel intimidated before the game, because I know this person is going to see, as I move my hands over the board, he's going to know the next move I'm trying to make. And me, I will not see whatever he's trying to do.
And actually, that is the interesting part about what you are doing.
Yes.
Is Well, I can visualize the move and see when you move a piece, try think of how I'm going to outsmart my opponent, say, if I'm playing with Harrison here.
Yes.
The question is then, how do you visualize this strategy? Because that's a wonderful part about this game.
Yeah.
How do you visualize the strategy?
How do I visualize the strategy?
Yes. Chess is a game of strategy. It's played by generals and kings.
No, you know, the fact that I know every piece and where it's positioned in my head, I will know the next move to make. So everything is in my head. The strategy is in my head. I just have to visualize it because now, like now, I know every piece here, where it is. Yeah. So I just have to visualize it in my head, then make a move in my head, then do it here on the board.
How is that, brought out to you? Coach, how do you, bring that up? Because that concept, I mean, for me who is sighted, then I will see, you will tell me, you see, if you move this piece here, this is what will happen.
Yes.
But how do you teach them?
Now, how training them is just giving them an opportunity to explore first. They have to get used to the board so that they know it better. They have to know it like inside out. For me, I don't need, for someone who is sighted, doesn't need to know all the board because he trusts in the eyes that I'll just see somebody attacking my piece. But for them, you have to give them opportunity. You set a puzzle. You tell them to take time to visualize every piece where it is and what it is trying to do. So it's all come with practice, like any other sport. You have to practice and you master it. That's how you get better and better. So the position will just be clicking in your head.
Wycliffe.
Yes.
Now, who's on the movie team?
Yes.
Yes. Let's continue.
It's me.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's continue with a little bit of play.
Knight E6.
So, coach, you've got to move to E6. Your move, coach, now. Wycliffe, over to you. Can see you're giving the coach a little bit of a headache.
Then Queen G4.
Okay. Queen G4.
Yeah.
Castle kingside.
You're castling the king, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As you can see, it's all about knowing the strategy and the moves, and all of these things have been taught. And there's something about chess. For the sighted people, there's the rapids and there is the normal game.
Yes.
I mean the normal competition.
Yes.
Where you make the move and there's a clock.
Yes.
Then how do you work with Wycliffe and company when it comes to that aspect of the competition? Because he will not move because he's got to fill the pieces.
Yes.
So he can't move as fast as I can.
Yeah. For the competition first in Kenya, we have competition for persons with disability, chess championship. Like for instance, this year, Chess Kenya Federation has set it on 3rd June. And for the year competition, they have at least to play maybe a rapid, whereby the time control is at least 30 minutes. So we have to be conscious with that they can't play like the blitz of 10 minutes. So they play longer games, rapids and classical. The long ones, we call them classical.
Which one do you like most? The rapids or classical, Wycliffe?
Classical.
Yeah. Reason?
Because they have time to move the pieces. Yes.
And when it comes to this, the rapids, coach, this is where, because these are technical aspects, what's the scoring? Serious. Once, say, after 10 minutes, it's done.
Sorry?
The scoring for rapids.
Yeah.
Who wins Because at the moment,
Yes.
I know the board isn't done. Nobody has made a call for check or checkmate.
Yes.
How do you handle this?
So for the rapid, you can lose even on time. If you are time lapse, you lose the game on time. You can lose on technicality, like illegal moves. You move the pieces the way they are not supposed to be moved. You are punished. So you can lose the game by that if you have 2 warnings. But in some cases, for Classico, they will end up with a checkmate because there's a lot of time. You have to think. So checkmates will be seen on the board, or even a draw. You can agree a draw. You can get a draw by repeating the same moves. Nobody wants to lose the game. So, or you can just agree, like it's a draw, and then you agree. Yes.
Well, Wycliffe.
Yes.
Make a call so that people, I know I've seen that you've picked up the game. You're really enjoying it.
Yes.
You have mastered it. You have visualized the moves. If I played against you, I would lose. But still, where do you see the opportunities for visually impaired chess players? I'm just looking at this board. If my woodwork teacher hears me say that this board is imported, he will get mad. Are there opportunities for this?
Of course, yes, there are
Supplying these things.
There are opportunity, but we need. I was trying to think it up because I'm an entrepreneur as well, on how I can get a CNC machine and try to do. It's an automated whereby it can be printed in 3D, and then I just insert the wood. The machine does everything and produces a piece, and just apply the vinyl. But in Africa, we don't have that. And I would also urge like the Ministry of Sport and Culture and the innovation especially, to venture into these things, because it's kind of weird that these would came from Africa, but was processed there. We go and purchase them out abroad. I know in Kenya we can do better, because the board, it's obvious expensive. It's very expensive.
Actually, the pieces are expensive. Just taking a look, making the board is...
The board is easier to make, but now the piece are the most key things, especially for the visually impaired. They have to feel that that is a real knight. So you don't craft your knight looking like something else. So, and it isn't done by hand. This is a machine.
This is a machine.
This is machine made.
All right. Thank you very much, Harrison Nyagah. Yes. He is a coach for blind chess, and this is their board. By the way, don't ask why the pieces aren't falling. It's because you have to put them inside there, and they've got to fill them. This is what it looks like. They've got this pin here that you've got to, now it holds properly on the board, the black and the white pieces. And also, Wycliffe,
yes,
asante sana for coming. Thank you for displaying your skills.
Yes.
And all the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing this. And whenever you have competition, we will have to come.
We have a competition on that June. We have also Kenya Open. That is on 7th April. Kindly, we invite everyone. All the Department of Sport. And I think they have to also try to think without the box, that sports means just wearing sports shoes and going to the field. We have this game of chess. It needs also to be empowered. All right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, a conversation about chess for the blind, and you've seen it in action. This is their board. Kama any hustler, nafasi iko kwako. Thank you very much. Next, we'll be talking about explosions, a sport around explosions, shooting. And we're going to be having one major African championship taking place in Kiambu next month. A lady and a gentleman will be joining us shortly.